Number Theory, Section 1, Programming, Video 2, Comparisons and Logic. In the last video, we learned how to use Python to do simple basic arithmetic, and we looked at some of the maths functions that you can use. We're now going to start looking at comparisons and how they can be used together with Python's inbuilt logic to start putting things together to make your own programs. So let's just have a look at some of the comparison operators that you've got access to in Python. First of all, you've got greater than and less than, which are just the greater than and less than symbol that you're very familiar with. The first thing that might catch you out a little bit is equal to, because when you're doing a comparison in Python, you need to use a double equal sign for this. You also might wish to know whether two things are not equal to each other, and for this you use the exclamation mark followed by an equal sign to say not equal to. To see whether something is greater than or equal to, you use the greater than sign followed by equals, and to see if it's less than or equal to, you use the less than sign followed by equals. It makes more sense once you start thinking about this in terms of logic. So each comparison operator allows you to see whether a certain comparison is true or false. So let's switch to the shell and try some of these out. So suppose I type in 7 greater than 4. This is me asking Python how 7 compares to 4. Is it greater than 4? And Python tells me this is true. 7 is indeed greater than 4. I could also test whether 3 is less than 2.5. And this time Python tells me that's false, which we know because 3 is in fact bigger than 2.5. Let's have a look at this strange double equals sign then. So if I want to know whether 4 plus 3 is equal to 9, I might be tempted to type it in like that. But I can't do that. I have to use the second equals sign like this. Is 4 plus 3 equal to 9? I use the double equals. And this is telling me, as I would hope, it's false. 4 plus 3 is not equal to 9. And in fact, I can see that 4 plus 3 not equal to 9 returns true. So let's have a look at why we use the double equal rather than single equal. I use the single equal sign in Python if I want to assign something to a variable. So suppose I want to assign a constant k that I want to be equal to 4. I would type k equals 4. And now when I type k, it will return 4. If I typed k plus 3, the computer is thinking of this as 4 plus 3, which is 7. And I can test, is k plus 3 equal to 7? I've used the double equals sign this time because I'm asking it to compare something. And yes, because k is 4, k plus 3 is equal to 7. I can also use this with the operators that we looked at last time, such as the percent symbol that I used for remainders. So 30% 5, what's the remainder when 30 is divided by 5? Returns 0. So if I did 30% 5 double equals 0, this is asking when I divide 30 by 5, is the answer 0? And it says true. Similarly, if I did 30% 4, I get the answer 2 because 30 has a remainder of 2 when I divide by 4. So if I ask the computer 30% 4 not equal to 2, it tells me false because it is in fact 2. The last thing to look at then is how I can use and or to put some of these things together. So if I want to know whether it's true that 30 is divisible by 5 and when 30 is divided by 4 I don't have a remainder of 0, of 2. That's false. But if I asked instead, does 30 have a remainder of 0 when I divide by 5, or does 30 not have a remainder of 2 when I divide by 4? It returns true, because one of those statements, at least one of those statements, is true. So that's the end of the programming section, video 2. In this video, you've learned how to compare two values using comparison operators and how to use and or.